Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is Fareen Khatun. Today I have a very special guest today, and this video is going to be very informative if you are going to apply for USA PhD. And today we have Mai. She is from Vietnam, and over to you, Mai, and introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. My name is Mai. I'm from Vietnam and I'm doing my PhD in chemistry at the state. I'm currently in my third year. My research is mostly about organic synthesis and I'm working on some strain release reaction now.
Okay, and may I know briefly, like in which university and like how did you apply about this? Because when we meet in actually in Posttech, and she was an exchange student, if I'm right. She is there for she was pursuing her master's during that time, and she is now a PhD student. So let me know how you are enjoying your research, or how did you get this opportunity?
You mean to the state or to the career?
I'm talking about the states.
Oh, okay. So the state on the application timeline is quite early because if you want to go into fall next year, you need to apply from fall this year. So it's like one year in advance. The applications usually start around October. It is closed sometime December based on the school. So you're gonna need a personal statement or statement of purpose, a letter of recommendation. Actually, you need three letter of recommendation. So it's really, I think we need to be well prepared because three letter of recommendation is pretty much, yeah. So look around for referees referrer before you apply. Um Other things to note is that in the state when you get the admission to university for PhD, you will automatically um get an assistant serve to fund your PhD program, including the tuition waiver and the stipend for every month.
Okay, and how much stipend you are getting for the, is this fully funded PhD?
Yeah, so it will different depends on the location in the university, but typically the stipend is enough for you to survive in the city that the university stay at.
May I know the place you are living? It's like village type or like the city place, and how much the fund is enough for you? Is like that?
Yeah, it's enough. I know that for the suburban like town or small city, the stipend could be around 2000 K dollar. Yeah, 2000 K dollar for a month. And for big city like New York City or some of my friends California, they got about 3000 to 4000 K. So it's pretty enough to live, especially for Asian student because we don't spend that much. But the stipend is decided based on the rate of living for the native student, right? So Asian student usually we do home cooking and we go shopping. We don't eat out much. So I would say that the stipend is pretty enough.
Okay. Can you just tell me like what kind of resume in USA professor is looking for? Like when you prepare for the Asian one, I applied for the Korea to, so they were looking for more training or something like that. So what about the USA? Like what are the requirements for the lab?
Okay, so some school require me to submit a CV, some require a resume. But typically, you will need to send out a CV and reach out via email to a professor before you apply or during the application period. So you got into a lab, it's gonna increase the chance that you got the admission from the department. Um, so the CV, I would say they're gonna look like GPA should be higher than 3. So 3 is like the safe point, but it's better if you got higher than that. The other thing is research experience. It doesn't matter if you have a publication yet or not, because PhD in the state is 5 year program. They're gonna train you from like nothing to something, right? So the 5 year program, the first 2 year is coursework. They're gonna train you everything. You're gonna take class like you do in the master, and then you need to take an exam. We usually call a preliminary exam or qualifying exam, depends on the school. But after you pass that, you're gonna turn from a PhD student to a PhD candidate.
Oh,
Yeah, so they don't expect you to have any publication beforehand, but um they prefer you to have some research experience before you go to the graduate school. So you kind of like have an insight of how the research is gonna look like and why you are motivated to do that.
okay. I didn't know about there's an exam for joining the PhD. Can you tell more about like when we are mailing the professor, they are going to let us know about that or something like that. If you tell about your application, how this is gone. Uh,
Oh, okay. So that is the policy of school. You can find it on the department website.
Mhm.
They should stay it in the PhD program. Usually we take it at the end of first year or second year. Like my exam is just an oral presentation about the research. So I'm doing research in the first 2 year, and then at the end of second year, I present an oral presentation around 30 minutes, and then I have a committee. My committee have 4 members. They're gonna ask me questions about like basic knowledge to make sure that I understand what I'm doing and am prepared for the next 3 years. What I want to do in the next 3 years. What kind of research I'm interested in, and make sure that I have enough background knowledge to do that. So that's called qualifying exam. Um, I know that some department they're gonna take like real exam, kind of like 5 subject they have to learn in the first 5 year in the first 2 years, and then they take exam for these 5 subject to make sure that this is just to make sure that you have enough background knowledge and you're ready to do research independently.
what is the difficulty level? Like people want to know if those are applying for USA. What is the difficulty level? Like
I
according
would
to your
say
experience.
I think it's pretty straightforward, because if you fail the qualifying exam, I know that some department will allow you to take it second time, but if you fail it the second time, you need to master out. So you're gonna get a master degree, and then you're not allowed to continue your PhD.
Mm. What you are doing a PhD or integrated PhD? Is it like that? Like
No, it's a normal PhD.
oh, okay, and it's include that. Okay, it's trained.
Yeah, it's included.
Okay, and is there any like time period for what is the normal duration for a PhD completing there?
Duration. I know that in the state most PhD program are 4 or 5 year program. So they all going through 2 years of coursework and then another 2 or 3 year research.
What is the credits for the coursework? Like, how much credits are there for completing? Like, some universities have like high or low, something like that.
Mm, we still using the grade ABCD, and you need to maintain at least B to maintain your assistantship.
Oh, no, I'm asking like total number of credits, like 18 or
Number of
something.
credit, I think it's depend on the department, because I have like 4 core
Mm.
classes, but I know that some of my engineering friend have more than that.
Okay, so it's matter like if I compare with the Europe, which I found out like they have not that much, and the 3 to 4 they are like, which I generally find out. I'm also restricted with the information, but it's very like the other Asians like Korea also have like 18 and India also have 18, so it's like that. So I'm asking in that manner, and
Oh yeah, my I think I have like 9 credit for the coursework, but I also have some research related credit. For example, I have a class, it's called literature review, but I don't actually go to the class, but writing a literature review instead.
got it, got it. For there are any information about the direct PhD in USA? Like it's like getting popular nowadays, and the people after the bachelor's. If you have information about that for the direct PhD,
For, sorry, for what?
for direct PhD.
Dai PhD?
Like after the which I have heard in the USA is getting common, majorly I think in engineering background. That's why I'm ask you, like after the bachelor's they are going for a PhD, like that transition. So
Oh, yeah, I see. I think my lab currently have around 20 people, so half of them go straight from the bachelor.
oh really?
And the other one usually have a master or go to work for industry, and then they figure out that, oh, I need the PhD degree to get promoted to get promotion. So they go and take the PhD. But most of them go straight to PhD after the bachelor. Because as I say, we have like 2 years of extensive intensive coursework. So they don't expect us to have like any publication or master beforehand.
What are the things professor is looking for a PhD student if they are applying for USA in, if you can tell that? Like you said, like not that much publication are there, but if someone is email, what are the focus they should consider to get a response from the
Oh yeah,
professor?
like you mean the reach out email?
Mm-hmm.
My professor particularly looking for a motivated student. So he want the student that understand what they want to do and why they have to do that. Why they want to do the PhD and why they want to do that particular research. Mm, because it's 5 years long, right? So you need to be motivated to do that. He don't want to have to fund someone and then they drop in the middle. So motivation is really important. The second thing is that um they did the research. So they have research experience and they know how the research career gonna look like. And they imagine like the life of researcher, we spend so many time on the lab work and like stay in the lab. I know some of my lab mates stay overnight in the lab and they really motivated to work. So motivation is important and you need to have insight about the research so you can imagine like how the research like gonna look like, so you prepare for that. The third one is that they did the research about the direction that what is the lab is doing. Because you're gonna love the student that reach out to you and hey, I'm interested in your research direction, right? So they need to know what is the research direction of the lab and what they particularly interested in and want to do that.
Um, Thanks for this information. May we little bit know about the work-life balance? You have been experienced in Korea also. You have seen how what kind of research experience is there and the lab culture is there.
Yeah.
And now you are working in USA. Let's have a comparison a little bit.
Comparison. Um, To be honest, it really depends on the PI. So PI is principal investor, which is your advisor, research advisor during the PhD. So the if you have a Chinese PI, you're gonna expect an Asian style management in the lab. They're gonna ask you like how's your research doing and then come and check out the lab like every day. But like for my PI, he's white. He's been in the state for more than 20 years. So most of my lab mates are white people. They really do work-life balance. They come to the lab around 9 a.m. and then they leave the lab around 5 or 6 p.m. But we need to make sure that we spend about 8 hours in the lab so we can have some progress to report, and then get data for our dissertation at the end of the PhD. But yeah, I was saying the state, if you have a white PI, it's okay to work from 9 to 6. Some of my lab may stay later than that, and the PI love it, but we don't have like strict time schedule that what time we need to go to the lab as long as we still have data generated. Um, so the same thing in Korea, but I think the PR expect more time in the lab because they not come that early at 9, but they come around 10 or 11, but they stay until midnight. And sometimes I went to the lab at 3 a.m. and there's still some student working there. That's crazy. But yeah, but for research, I think the schedule is quite flexible because you can decide what time you go to the lab, what time you leave the lab, as long as you still have data collected, you still have the progress to report, that's fine.
Amazing. And okay, now this is the work-life balance, and I am quite agree. I think it's all depend on the PI how he is managing the lab and how students respond to that. And okay, then so far, how is your life in USA? Are you like share something inside?
The state? Mm, you mean like the lifestyle, or
Oh,
you want to ask about like culture? So I think the hardest part is to survive in winter because it's too cold here.
oh, okay.
So this winter, um, if you remember when we got to Korea for the first time, it was February, right? And we got the snow at the end of February. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
first time yeah, that's the first time I saw snow in my life. And then
Mm.
I went to I flew over to the state, and the first winter was pretty, like I would say not bad, but the second winter here we got some winter storm and it's super icy in front of my apartment. Like the temperature go lower than 0 degrees and there's snow, and after that the snow turned into ice. So on the roads was so icy. You can imagine like you are doing ice skating every day. You go to the school. It's
But
super slippery.
that
Yeah,
was
it's
too much.
really slippery out there, and I really don't want to go to the lab because I have to walk from my apartment to the bus stop, and it's slippery. So you need to like take extra time to walk really slowly under cold temperature.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I would say like weather is my hardest part because I'm from a tropical environment and it's so warm in in my hometown. And there was one time that I went back to my home during the winter break. And right after I got to the airport, when I back to the state, I saw the snow and I missed my hometown so bad. I was like, no, it's so warm over in my hometown. Why I need to go back here?
Oh my God. I think Asians have that problem. I personally don't like snow much that much. And but your story is something like that.
Yeah, but the snow is beautiful.
Got it. And okay. Uh, sorry, I just get to like overwhelmed with your snow story.
Yeah, so my first winter here, I even go out. I actually went out and take photo of the snow, like me standing in the snow under really cold weather. I was just so happy. I was like, oh my God, this is the first time I see snow. And then like the next week, I was like, no, it's too cold now.
Okay, then the snow is the problem, is there, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful until it's turned into ice and it's icy roll around my apartment. No.
Okay. Okay, there is a back to the video context. The thing I want to like when I was applying for the states and some other applications when coming through, I get to know what there is a driving license. They ask for the do you have a driving license? What is the method behind this? Does we really need a driving license or something like that? Why they ask so much about that? If you have information.
I I don't have a driving license yet,
Hmm.
but I still survive. It's
It's real thing. It's real thing. Like they really want a driving
so
license.
the inconvenient things is that if you don't have a driver license, you need to bring your passport as an ID. But if you have a driver license, you can show it at an ID. So you don't need to bring your passport everywhere. The second thing is that transportation, like my town, I'm living in a small town, but the bus system is really good. They have bus going around the campus and around the area. So we can get to basically everywhere in the town with bus. If you don't have car, it's okay. I know that DC and New York have pretty good public transportation system,
Mhm.
so you can travel by bus or metro. But for some other place, if the public transportation is not that good, it's it's it will be much more convenient to have a car to travel.
Oh, that's why maybe.
Yeah.
Hmm. There is a one more thing. If you can like tell about when is the best time to apply for like if there is two season like fall and spring. So which month we should consider for application for not missing
Um,
the chance.
absolutely full.
Hmm.
Because not all university have offer a PhD application for spring, and if you go for fall, there's more orientation program, so it's easier to get get used to the new place and making friends during the orientation because some school doesn't have orientation in spring. And also, especially if you run a tropical environment like me, coming in fall is much better than coming in the middle of a winter, right? So it's weather shock,
Consider,
temperature
guys,
shock.
consider
Yeah,
this.
yeah. And yeah, for fall, like not only orientation for grad student, but you can also participate in some orientation activity for undergrad to get to know the school and the surrounding. So I would say fall is better.
Mhm.
Funding is also better in fall because they have limited spot for spring. So I would say if you want to apply, you can put spring application as a backup because there's limited spot for spring and limited university choice for spring. So fall is the better choice. The fall application usually open around October and close in December, the years before. So if you want to go for fall
Like,
2027, you need to apply this fall, this December 2026.
if you can tell about the different fundings and or any portal to search about the US openings, if you have any website in your mind, like we can search for the applications or just which method I knew, like visiting the university and checking for the PI, which is in my mind.
The department website is a to-go place. They
Hmm.
have everything you need. So what you usually look for, there's two way. If you don't know what kind of research you wanna do, yes, then looking for the ranking of the school and the major. Because I know that some school doesn't have like a high rank, but they really famous in the small field. Like for chemistry, there's some particular there's some school that specifically focus on organic chemistry. So that's something you need to note, that the rank of the university sometimes is not that matter, but the rank of the major of the department is much more is need to be taken into consideration when you apply for PhD. So looking for the ranking, if you don't know what kind of research or which research lab you want to do the PhD, if you already have the name in your mind, like when you read in the paper and you see, oh, I like this research direction, I want to go to that lab, then just go straight and look where's the lab, what university is it, and then add it to your wish list. That's what I did because I already know like I already have like some research interest, and while I'm doing research, I noted down some name of the lab that I want to go for my PhD. Then I just look up what school is it and go straight to the university website and the department website to looking for the application information and timeline.
Got it. Thank you for this information. So actually, this is it from my side, and I have that much collection of data. And I would like to know, like, any personal advice you want to give for the applicant who are applying for USA.
Um, be well prepared and motivated. I would say before you apply, try to ask yourself what kind of research you want to do and why you seriously want to do PhD, because it's a long journey. I don't want anyone to come in PhD, survive 1 or 2 years and then just get out because no, they don't have enough motivation. So it's really important before you invest your time, your effort to apply for PhD. Make sure that you know what you want to do, what you want to get after PhD. Try to imagine about what I'm gonna look like after 5 years or 10 years, what I want to be, what kind of person I want to be, what is my career goal, and will a PhD degree help me with that to achieve that career goal, you know?
I think amazing.
Yeah, so understanding ourselves is really important before you make an important decision in your life.
Okay, this is for it, guys, and please subscribe the channel and see you in the next video. And thank you very much, Mai, for accepting my invitation and share your experience. It is really, really very informative video for all of us. And thank you. And